morning, everyone. I'm up early to take nighttime to the vet for her yearly shots today. We got up at 7. Her appointment's at 8:30. I'm trying to get everybody fed. Hi, Morris. Hi, bud. Hi. Good boy. Good boy. Hopefully I'm sounding more like myself, but you saw that he's been afraid of me for several days, and we didn't have a scare of any kind. Like, I didn't almost step on him or anything. I must smell different and sound different because I'm sick, and he knows. Well, we are going to see a little sun this morning. There's a chance of rain, but it doesn't go up until around 10 a.m. So I should be long back from the vet by then. Colder air coming in for tonight. I think I said that. Right now it feels great. I slept pretty good, and the congestion is breaking up. I coughed a little bit in my sleep, but not horrible. Don's doing a little better, but his throat is still bothering him, certainly more than he'd like for it to at this point. I'd say we're both improved this morning. We're just maybe me more than Don, which is unexpected. Good morning, Gray. Hey there, honey. Hi, good girl. Hi. Good morning. Being to sit with you today since Johnny's not here. Sorry, I forgot to turn off the homework. Turn on the light. Make things a little better in here. I'll tell A to do that when I'm not filming, so she doesn't try to do it at your house too. Here you go, sweetheart. Yeah, so I don't know if it's broke or if it's just out. But obviously Don and I have been too sick to look at it, and Johnny's gone for the week now. But that's why they switched to the other side. We'll get it sorted. I'm in Ruby. Don was able to get her out for me and go get the cat crate upstairs in the garage attic, which I'm sure wasn't fun because neither one of us is running upstairs right now. Well, I don't run upstairs on a good day, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, it seems like whatever rain we might have had this morning is going down to the coast. I don't know that there's going to be any more rain today. I guess time will tell, and it doesn't really matter. Don wants to go to the landfill either today or tomorrow, and that's totally up to him. I collected the trash in the house because it really needed to be collected. I'm sorry. She's very distressed, and talking doesn't help, and there's pretty much nothing helps. It's a lot on her. I really wonder about all of these repeated vaccines for the kitties. Don't come after me. I just think maybe a better way is to test them for immunity with a little blood draw, and if they don't have immunity, continue to give it to them, and if they do, then maybe not. It's kind of like they test pregnant women for the measles immunity. And if they don't have good immunity, then they give them a measles vaccine. And if they do have good immunity, then they check that box off. At least in the early 2000s, that's what was done for me. They checked my measles immunity, and it was off the charts. And they didn't do anything beyond that. It was probably off the charts because in the 90s, I graduated UNCC in December of 90. So probably like in 89. Or earlier in the year in 90, they came out and they said, you know, there's lots of measles cases. Yeah, I'm not talking about now, I'm talking about when I was in college. There's lots of measles cases popping back up. We think college kids that are, you know, in classrooms and stuff that haven't had a measles shot since they were a kid, we think that as adults they should go get measles shots. So I marched myself over to the student health center and I got a measles shot. So it was probably a good thing, because then when I got pregnant, I didn't have to worry about the measles. anyway, I suppose I could have a vet come to the house instead of dragging her up to the vet in a crate, which is very stressful to her. That's one option. There's several local vets that come around. I wonder about, you know, pushing their immune system if they're already, you know, have immunity to stuff, to continue to do it. That's all. I really wasn't being anti-vax, but I know if you even question or wonder about stuff, that gets you into trouble with some people sometimes. Sorry, I'm like sweating. I really don't feel great. Just trying to get through my morning here. Somebody left me a rude and honestly mostly not true comment yesterday on the worst sick video. I guess YouTube served up our video to somebody that clicked on it that felt that it was such a waste of their time that they needed to let me know how horrible a person I was, and you know, instant gone from the channel. I don't mess around no more. I don't mess around anymore. So originally we were gonna get together with Michelle and the kids today. Johnny really wants to spend some time with him while he's home, and you know, he misses them, and it's just hard for the short windows that he's here that it works out. But they're back from Pennsylvania. They had a safe travels on the road between here and Pittsburgh area, and we moved it from today to Friday because even though I'm probably not contagious anymore, seriously, I mean, I haven't had a fever in 2 or 3 days. I'm not even sure I ever really had a fever. It wasn't a high fever, but anyway, you know, I was coughing so bad yesterday that I would be annoying to be around if, you know, you weren't sick too. So I know the cough can hang on a long time, and that doesn't mean I'm contagious, but you know, Johnny had just got to his dad's house, and I'm not really feeling great and all that stuff, so we moved it to Friday. I don't know what that means for shopping at Guardian Angel this week, but we're getting together with the kids on Friday. Okay, have we all tired of hearing her cry? I'm so sad. So sorry she's crying. I wanted to tell you that Marty was out and about this morning. He had gone up the hill to look for the sun a little early, so the sun wasn't, you know, fully out yet. But he really likes that trek up the log to that spot that he's always gone to. And in the wintertime, there's a lot more sun. But he hadn't had blood for a couple of days, and he was eating really good, and he was seeming like he was, you know, doing better. Obviously with, you know, his mouth not bothering him or whatever. And then this morning there was a lot of blood again, and something was not right. So I'll be talking to Dr. Liz about that as well. Yeah, don't point it out in my car. Yeah, he just doesn't care. Okay. Marty, you know, I know when he's got blood in his mouth, he doesn't want to eat. So whenever that stops, but I've come to the conclusion that it's got to be more than just a tooth. But I will bring it up with Dr. Liz again. She continued to tell me that Marty wasn't a good candidate for any type of surgery or anesthesia. I don't know if you can tell, but through the trees it's really dark to the north, and there comes the train. I heard the horn. Yeah, poor Dr. Liz. They're right on top of the train track. But you know, well, I guess probably there's more trains coming through since that R.J. Corman started hauling stuff around the Fuquay area here a year or so ago. But I mean, it doesn't come through that many times a day, and they're not like that one. They're not super long loads. I would not say the train is anywhere near as intense in Fuquay as it is in Apex. Anyway, nighttime as well. She's tucked in back there, and we're headed home. I don't know for sure how old Dr. Liz is, but I know she's probably getting near retirement age. And I told her, I swear I haven't had a fever for 48 hours, but I have been really sick, and I probably still look a little rough. And she said, I don't get sick. And you know what? Seriously, in all the time that I've known her, yeah, that guy ran a red light. All the time that I've known her, I've never known her to be sick. She says if I call in, basically it's, you know, it's the end of the world. So some people are just more well. Yeah. So we're going to put Marty under twilight anesthesia next Tuesday. Monitor how he does between now and then. And that way she can really, really look around in his mouth and see if she can figure out where the blood is coming from. It could still be something simple, or it could be something not good, and it's hard to know. So I feel good about that. And she said if she just can't see anything at all after really poking around in there, we'll do an x-ray and see if we see anything on an x-ray. And I'm feeling good about that choice. I wish she could get him in sooner. That's her first available is next Tuesday. So no food after 9 p.m. Get him over there between 7:30 and 8:30. I won't be at the very last minute, but I'm, you know, probably won't be there at 7:30 either. No, I should get it. She usually gets there around 8. The other guys, they open up the place for. Okay. There were 2 cars totally not wanting to let me over, like making it so that the amount of space between them was very small, but I asserted myself. It's hard to get over from there. So we have a plan for Marty. I'll go home. He didn't, I mean, yesterday ate super good, made Mom happy. Like I say, purred, rubbing up against my hand. And, you know, when he's not bleeding and his food doesn't taste bad, he eats really good and stuff. And then, you know, this morning with the blood, there was no way he wanted any food. So Mom will give him a chance for it to stop and go back to being better, and then I'll give him something to eat. I'll try to encourage him to eat again. Poor guy. Poor nighttime. I just had a false stoplight charm ding from the left turn arrow that's over there on the other side. You can see that light better from the driver instrument cluster here. That stoplight ding is really, really good, but there are a few edge cases, and that is definitely an edge case intersection where it's not accurate. So every once in a while, when it chimes, it's not for the right light. It seems obvious to me, looking at what the driver instrument cluster sees, that the car should definitely understand the light assigned to it. You know, FSD's not going when that light turns green over there, so it seems to me like we should be able to go back in and finesse the chime code a little bit more. Update it with the latest FSD, I know which stoplight is mine code. To me, it's obviously not the same code path that causes the chime, that causes the car to go forward when it sees a green light and knows its lane is green. So, and I don't know that if I've noticed it incorrectly on Robot or not, but I know I sure notice it on Ruby from time to time. I love that feature. I'm not knocking the feature. I'm not mad at Tesla. Every once in a while, there's an inaccurate chime, and we should try to fix that. We'll just leave it there. You know, you can write really great code, but handling every edge case on the planet is hard. So, I'm going to share a story from a friend. I'm going to keep the friend private. But a friend was traveling and charging at I believe, in a Juniper Y, at a 325 kilowatt supercharger, and during the charging session they got a big yellow question mark on the center screen. And unfortunately no picture, and I don't think anybody else has taken a picture of it either. And rebooting the car got rid of it and fixed everything. So I asked Grok about it, and there have absolutely been reports of big yellow question marks showing up on the screen. I can't even imagine. It sounds like something out of a Mario game. And apparently there's another edge case, another small window where the car, the thought process is here. The MCU's tasked to do something during the middle of high-speed charging, and something goes awry, and it gives up the ship and puts up the yellow question mark. And the something might be a software update was trying to download, or it went to check for a software update in the middle of the charging session. And I know that sounds really honky. All I wanted to say is, if you ever get a big yellow question mark on your big screen, reboot the car. It's most likely nothing. It's not anywhere near as concerning as the size of the question mark might indicate, or the oddness of the question mark. And it would probably happen during supercharging. So I'm just throwing it out there and put it in the back of your mind. Don't freak out if you see that, and reboot. Which of course is always the answer with Tesla, right? Is reboot. I hope to never see the question mark. It would have been nice on the internet if someone had posted a picture of what it looks like, you know, to share with other users. But Grok was able to go search, you know, the Tesla Motors forum and X and other places, and sure enough there are scattered reports of that question mark, and reboots always fix it and life goes on. And he called it a glitch in the matrix, which these are computers, so that's possible. Don and I agree that it sounds like there was a case statement in programming language here. So, you know, when the number comes back 5, do this. And when the number comes back 10, do that. And when the number comes back 15, do this. And when the number comes back 337, oh my God, I don't know what to do with that. Nobody told me what to do about 337, put up the question mark. So it basically, it sounds like it fell through the case statement. Interesting bug to fix. Hopefully they'll get it fixed. Okay, so the sun's gone. Those dark clouds to the north seem to have overtaken this part. If you claim, you know, Abe last night said rain around 10 a.m. So I'm going to say maybe we are going to get a little bit of rain. We won't be trying to... If it were nice and sunny and warm, we would probably go try to walk around the track or sit on the bench. But probably not with the rain and everything. Excuse me. Yeah, my problems are a little bit different than Dawn's. I coughed so hard last night, which is what happened back in 2017, actually, when I had this horrible cough that went on for forever. Is I basically messed up the first or second rib on my left side where I have all that pain. I coughed so hard that it messed up the shoulder blade, the rib area up there. And so every time I cough, it's not my throat or the stuff that's happening to Dawn, but it's the rib over there. So boo. Dawn said he came out and checked the mail. I obviously could stand to blow again. It almost looks like it rained a little bit here already. Won't be carrying the heavy blower and trying to blow today. There's nothing that has to happen today. I would, hopefully I feel up to doing a little Lego something. But Dawn needs to put a new nozzle on my printer. We got this new message that said the nozzle was bent or tilted. And sure enough, Dawn said, yes, it does. And I'm sorry, kitten, I don't feel well enough to do it. That was not yesterday, but the night before. And I said, I totally understand. I had a print that failed twice. And I tried to talk to the developer guy about it. And he told me it was all my fault and mansplained me. And I really think that his print settings, which shouldn't be allowed, the printing code should prevent it, but I really think his print settings caused the tool head to hit the plate funny or something. So anyway, we have another one. Don will get around to putting it on. I would guess he will feel up to it today. But he said it's like a 15-20 minute job. Not a big deal. And if he doesn't, he'll do it tomorrow. So this is the broth from the prime rib, the bone-in rib roast. After they went through the Instant Pot for 2 hours with water, onion, and garlic and some seasoning. Sat overnight. I cleared the excess fat off the top. I'm not trying to make it fat-free by any stretch. I didn't do anything fancy to get the meat off the bones. I just let it slide off the bones and threw the bones away. This is really tasty. It was really jellied, which means it got a lot of collagen in it. Healthy stuff. Possible idea to do with all of those leftover rib roast bones if nobody ate the meat. And even if you ate the meat, the bones are probably still worth making broth with. Any broth you can make where it sits overnight in the fridge and it gets jellied up like, you know, jelly, that's good eating.
Well, I'm out here going to work on the printer for her. She got a message says that the extruder is bent, and I have to tell you, coming out here eyeballing it, I agree. I think it's bent. It's not just that little rubber covering. I think it's a little more to it than that. So I'm gonna put a new hot end on, which I have an extra one, and I've done this before. It's really not that bad, but this new cover is gonna make it a lot easier. I'll be able to get the glass and get down in there and stuff. So that, again, this tiltable AMS, this thing right here, being able to do this is absolutely night and day. As you can see, it is actually bent. I'm sure it could probably be straightened. I'm not going to throw it away because this is a relatively new hot end, complete assembly. I put this on a couple, 3 months ago. I mean, it's, you know, it's relatively new. What happened?
Marty's resting peacefully in the chair there. Stripe was on the bench, but he's moved. It is really windy out there. Well, we're having some serious wind gusts. You know, it's not straight line winds or anything, but the wind gusts have been getting intense. You know, still not full of a whole bunch of energy, and also thankful that there's not anything that just absolutely has to be done today. Grateful for Don for getting up enough energy to go fix the printer. That kind of wore him out, and he's resting again. And both of us, we do a little something, and then, you know, we're ready to sit down. I'm kind of biding my time a little bit on some parts I ordered to start a modular, and the new modular coming out January 1st, which I will probably put together the second I get it. But I have this Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory set, and you know, it's 2,025 pieces. I seriously put some thought process into what I should build today or soon or whatever, and I kept on coming back to this. I got lots of spring builds. I got, you know, Easter time builds. I've got Halloween builds. It's a really weird time in between Christmas and New Year's and in the middle of winter, what to build. You know, I like to decorate the house for the holidays, and I like to build my Lego on theme too. That's just how my brain is wired. Anyway, I think this will be a lot of fun, and I'm going to start it. It's 4 o'clock. I don't know how much I'm going to do. I'm going to work on it until I don't feel like working on it anymore. I'm sure 2 to 4 bags, let's just say it. The minifigure for Willy Wonka is, oh, God, y'all know his name. Anyway, it's Gene Wilder. It's the, you know, original, well, it's the one I grew up with. Let's pronounce it like that. But there's lots of interesting details in here, and it should be a lot of fun. This is the first set that has some of these paper, and I'm using the term loosely, paper bags. They're inside the bigger bag, so all the little tiny parts are in paper and all the big parts are in the big plastic. There was a discussion on the ladies Lego Lounge and Beyond, the group on Facebook that I'm in with all the women. And it's kind of like Tesla Divas, but for Legos. There's a lot of women that build Legos, just in case you were confused. Talking about these have a wax paper coating on them, and they are only recyclable in a very limited number of places. So this is supposed to be better than this for the environment. I don't know if it is or it isn't. I really don't know. But this is not as good as it was made to sound. This is not just like, you know, paper you can definitely put in the paper place. This has wax paper on it, and it's like a wax coating. It's more like chipboard than it is paper, I think. Anyway, it has, I'm looking now. I guess maybe, I don't know. I was going to say they were talking about it having a symbol on it or something that they would, know whether it was recyclable or not. Of course, what they're receiving, there's women all over the world in that group and what they're receiving in different places. I've said that I think it ought to stay in the clear bags because sometimes you need to hunt for a part and you just need to look in the bag without opening it. Once it's open, then you got to staple it or tape it or get one of those, seal and press machines or something. So I'm not a fan of this. And I'm having to cut this with scissors too, by the way, to get it. These are much easier to open. It's 7 o'clock now. I did the first 6 bags. I was feeling good. It was going well. My book was interesting. And I didn't have a lot I needed to do for dinner tonight. So I did more than I thought, and I had fun. It's an interesting build. It's using some dog gears down here. And I would say that the chocolate flow is going to move. I didn't know it was going to move, but it looks like it's going to move in some way. We're having crustless pizza and leftover meatballs. Should be extremely low carb. There's no flour. It's the crust is basically mozzarella cheese and almond flour and egg. It works very nicely, especially if you pre-cook the crust and then add the toppings on and then heat some more.
Thank you, ma'am.